make you ready. Give me a second. That's right here. There we go. Good to go. And this is your computer. What is your computer? This is. So it goes right and left, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to just come over here and bring up your presentation. Started?
Yes. So, hello, my name is Abdul Mohsen Baksh. I am a student learning group leader for this course. So today I'm going to talk about what SLG is, how to access SLG sessions, why you should join SLG, and what to do if you have problems or questions about SLG. So what is SLG? It is peer assisted study sessions that are targeted to help students review and practice course material and prepare for tests in a group setting. So SLG sessions are about the topics taught by the professor in class the week before. These are not substitutes for your lectures. You should still attend those. A senior student, who is myself, I have already taken and succeeded in this course, and I will be facilitating several study sessions every week, and students can join and attend these sessions. All participation is voluntary in these sessions and confidential, and you can access them through Blackboard, and announcements are also going to be made periodically through Blackboard. So how to access SLG sessions? You would go to the Blackboard, and there would be a course called OOP, but instead of having Professor Fardad's name under it, it would have Farida Raihahi. You would click on that, and then there is a link, there's a section called How Do Supported Learning Groups Work in the content area. If you select that, you would be able to click the Please Join Here link, and then you would be taken to the SLG session. If you are attending one in person, there are none in person for this course. If you are, you would just go to the classroom, and then you can just enjoy the session. So why you should join a student learning group is because if you attend, historically, you have a better chance of passing, as well as have a better chance of achieving a higher grade in said course. If you have any questions about SLG, you can contact Farida Raihahi at senecapolytechnic.ca. And do you guys have any questions?
No questions?
No questions?
Seriously?
All right.
All right.
Thank you, and
All
I
right,
hope
we're
to
good.
see you guys there.
Okay, wait. Give me a second. There we go. Now it's your turn. Okay, so as you see, and thank you very much, this is actually a pretty cool thing. If you actually take these things, it makes you ready for the lectures that I'm going to give you. But anyways, so if you have logged into the computers, you will notice that it's completely blocked. You cannot go anywhere. Try something, I don't know. You should not have an incognito. You should not have, essentially you're stuck with Notepad++ and the quiz that you want to take, that you are not going to take now. But I see many people are actually open and ready to go. I thank you, all right? So we're not going to do that now. We're going to wait for a few minutes for everybody to come in. Before that, we're going to start going through some things and covering a few things for OOP244. And then when the time comes, I'm going to give you, actually, I didn't set a time for it. I should set a time for that thing. Like, I'll give you like 40 minutes to do the test. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Actually, I'll talk about the test when I want to take it so you know what you're going to do. That's that. Let me just bring up the... So this is how I usually begin. So these are the repository that we have for the notes. I have requested last semester for TortoiseGit to be available on my apps. Today I wanted to go over there and tell you how to use it, and I saw it's not there. So they didn't add it to my apps. You can always use the command line on the computers that you have in here. But you don't really, the only thing that you need this computer for is to submit, and that's through Matrix. So you only need to open up Telnet and submit your workshops from here. So essentially what happens is that you go home on your computer or wherever you are, you do your projects, your workshops and everything that you have. Then you push your work, commit and push your work to GitHub. Then you go on Matrix and you pull your work. So essentially Matrix will have the latest updated thing. Then I'm going to demonstrate for you how to use the submitter program to test and see if it's ready to submit. So you use that submitter program and it gives you feedback and it says it's ready to submit. So it's when you come over here, there are not going to be any surprises. You just go on Telnet, you open up Matrix, and you submit, and that's it. Okay? So that's that. But I wanted the TortoiseGit to be available so you could use the computers, especially if you have a Mac and you want to experience with Visual Studio and see how things work. You might want to actually pull and push easily without the command line. But all the commands that you have seen in Workshop 0, they all work on Git over here. So you have to go on My Apps and install Git, and then everything's going to go fine. Of course, you can't do it now. Now I'm going to release the computers. So your computer is going to be going back to its normal thing. I'm just going to, and then I'm going to activate it again. So the days that you have test, when you come in, or quiz, when you come in, your computer is going to start like this, because I don't want you to put something on a hard drive over here and then load it when you are doing your stuff. So essentially, and I'm going to start by rebooting your computer. So as soon as you come in, if I see any computer is on, because you are at 8 o'clock in the morning, that usually doesn't happen. All the computers are off, and I come and turn it up myself. So we're good. But if, especially when there is a final, because your final and your midterm is going to be here too, okay? So this is what you're going to see. So as soon as you come in here, you'll see that I'm going to do this. Done, okay? So all your computers are going to get rebooted. And this reboot thingy is going to refresh your computer, delete all the files, and you're going to see what happens. Don't be sad. Those people who logged in and have the screen nice and ready to go, they felt disappointed. My apologies. I just wanted to demo it for you. So if you are coming for a test, I'm going to tell you if I'm going to reboot the computers or not, okay? And now I'm going to end the session over here so your computers are released. You can log into whatever you want on your desktops. Desktop lab computers, whatever it is. Yeah, so when we are doing the test, the very first thing you are doing when you are doing the quiz, you put your hand over here and you push. You bring the camera on. Okay, so the camera should be up when you are doing your test. There we go. Yeah, so when you're doing the test, that so I can see your face. Okay, if I'm suspecting of anything, I'm going to look at the video and see if you are looking around or not. So all those things are going to be recorded. Be aware of it. Many of you are surprised. You didn't know there's a camera on these? Oh. I was bringing these. Yeah, anyway, so that's how it is. Hello, come in. All right. Fardat. I don't have a PhD. I'm not a professor. Yes.
The video that you showed us about the Notepad++, that's not available now.
I know.
Yeah, so that's why would it be okay if I use something else on my Mac?
That's not for Mac. The video, excusez-moi, pardonnez-moi, attention, Achtung, attention, everybody. The video that I put on YouTube are only for lab computers. It has nothing to do with your laptops. Use anything you want on your own laptops. You're never going to do any tests on your laptops. That video is only for lab computers and test center computers. That's it. Do it on your own computer any way you want. And then push it, and then pull it on Matrix. You come over here and you submit. The video that you saw, it is only for tests, how to do tests in, like when I say open the Notepad++, when I'm doing the test. Other than that, use whatever you want, and yeah. Anyways, we good? And thank you for the question, actually. We're fine? Yes. Go ahead. He is the representative of the class. What's up?
Do we name all of them test.c++?
Pardon me?
Do we name all of them no matter what? Test.cpp?
No, you just put the extension CPP. The reason that I asked you to save your file at .cpp, you are talking about when you're doing the test?
Yeah, like when we're doing quiz, aren't we supposed to also do
Yeah, when you're doing the test. Now, when you're doing the test, I am asking you to save your file as .cpp, whatever. Call it heehaw.cpp. The .cpp is important because that tells to Notepad++ you're writing a C++ program, therefore it's going to help you with syntax and stuff.
So any name?
Any name. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I talked about using AI, okay? So the very first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to demo to you how to use AI to learn, okay? So that's the very first thing we're going to do in here, okay? So you have access to Copilot through your student account, okay? Not the free one, but you have access to more in Copilot. But if you are using anything else like ChatGPT, I don't know, Grok, whatever you are using, okay? I know it's kind of crazy to say something like this. Use AI as if you hired a tutor, which means are you willing to pay somebody $35 a month you don't want to do it? Fine. You're good, you don't want to. But if you want to, do the subscription and then cancel it after it's done when you're not using it. See, as if you are hiring somebody for $35 to help you throughout your thing. When you do that, you can actually have different modes on your ChatGPT, and it's gonna, or Grok, and it's gonna, or whatever you are using, and it's gonna be more helpful for you. And I'm sure that you know much better deals and stuff like that, student deals. Find whatever you want. But if you are using the free one, it's possible that it's going to be limited, and it's after 5 chats back and forth, it's going to say you reach your limit. Things like that might happen. But again, so I'm going to demonstrate for you on a free one right now. So what I'm going to do in here, let me see. So I'm going to bring up an incognito thing, because if I log into ChatGPT, it's going to log as me. So I'm going to go to, say, ChatGPT, chatgpt.com, and I'm going to log in as, I think I had it as, yeah, there we go. And that's the one. Look at my face. Fantastic. Okay. So this is what I created the other day. So as you see over here in my in projects, I have a project, new project, learning C++. You see that? So these are projects that I created. So what you do, you don't just start chatting with ChatGPT for your work. You create a project, you label the project to what you want to do. That you can do in any type of AI system that you have. So I don't know which one is what. Let me see. So in here, let me see. I'm going to delete this chat. So it's going to be fresh. So learning C++, I'm going to come over here and edit instructions. There we go. So take a look at the instructions that I have written over here. I'm telling you are a C++ tutor with 12 years of experience. I'm telling to ChatGPT who you are. Okay? Then I'm saying I'm enrolled in, this is OOP345. Now we're going to change it to OOP244. I'm enrolled in OOP244 at Seneca Polytechnic. And here are my study notes. So what you do, you go to your study notes. These are the ones I think. Yeah, there we go. Copy. I am going to give you the specific note to study. Then you teach me the topics with no code examples and ask me to write what I learned. And then tell me what my mistakes are without giving me the correct answer. So you have to tell that to ChatGPT. Let me correct my own mistakes with our guidance, with your guidance. Okay? And this is how you start. But when you start, you will see that ChatGPT or whatever the AI that you're dealing with is not working the way you want. You see, oh, it gave the answer, or it's not asking you to write enough code. As soon as you see what happens, let me explain. So I'm going to go over here and click on Save. And let's go over here and see, for example, types, overloading, and references. Let's say I want to study this. So I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go over here. OK, I'm going to say, today, I want to study this. OK? Let's start. And you hit Enter. And see, well, let's see what happens. So you're still building confidence with C concepts. You're new to thinking in OOP C++ way. Big picture of the. So it literally teaches you everything one by one as it goes through. So it goes through everything. Types in C++, yada, yada, yada. It keeps going like that. And it's still going. Of course, you're going to read all these things. Your turn. In your own words, mention this, that. So it's now going through concepts, right? And you answer all these things. But you see there's not enough coding, OK? So you will answer all these things. You're going to explain what they are now, the good stuff that you want to do. And after you are done with this, you will see that it's not working. It's not working the way you want. Go back up, OK? Edit the message, and right over here, today I want to study this, and make sure to teach me by doing and coding. Something like that. And now it rephrases. Now it's going to change the way it's going to do, and it's going to ask you to code earlier. And then it's going to tell you, give me this code and that. From your faces, I see people are looking like this. You know, like, what are you talking about? Take this seriously. You do this, you're going to use AI as your servant. If you let AI to write code for you, you will be AI's servant. As I mentioned, and I don't recall that I mentioned this to you or not, the difference between the person who knows programming and a person doesn't know programming is that if I ask my 12-year-old daughter to write a program using AI, she won't be able to do it. Because she doesn't know what are the right questions to ask. You need to learn how to program, and I'm not going to say be an expert in it. You need to know what you want and ask that. So AI writes it for you, then you look at the code. If you don't like it, you fiddle with it, and you give it back to AI to check to see if you have done it right or not, and you keep going. I'm talking after school, not in school. That's how it happens. If you are dreaming on that, I'm not going to need to study AI. I'm just going to go over there and say, write this for me and sit and watch. It's not going to happen. The era of artificial general intelligence is still a myth. It's still science fiction. We are GAI now. Okay? Which means it's just a large language model. It just guesses what is the proper thing, proper word to bring up in this sentence from statistics. Okay? That's how it's working. So please, do it like this, one by one, go through it. And yeah, so what does it say over here? Write a program that declares an int, declares a reference to that int, changes the value using a reference, points to the original value. Your goal is to do this, post your code. So now it's your time. Open up Visual Studio, write the code at once. If everything's fine and dandy, copy the code and give it to it. And let it comment to you and tell you what did you do right or wrong. And then it goes to the next step. You do that, you're going to pass OOP244 with A+, you're going to pass OOP345 with A+, you're going to be a 4.0 student by the end of the program. You ask for the answer, you're literally shooting yourself, not in the foot, but in the head. Don't do that. Okay? We good? So this is how you use AI. Okay? Again, as I mention all the time, and I keep mentioning it, don't give me a fish, teach me how to fish. That's what you need to learn. Yes?
Could you give me the instruction that you have up here, I guess?
It's being recorded. Everything's being recorded. When you are setting up, just in your own words, I'm not going to give you my word, because again, when you give your words to AI, AI will detect who you are and will tether how it's supposed to talk to you. If I gave you my instruction, it's going to teach me. You don't want that. All you need to do is to tell to AI in your own words, teach you without doing it for you, and ask you to do it, and tell you what your mistakes are, and you correct yourself. You do that and you'll be fine. But again, if you want individually for me to help you how to set up your AI, you book an appointment, you go out to your home on your computer, you open it up, you give me control to your computer, and I'll work with you to set your AI for you if you want to. But I strongly suggest first to try to do it yourself. We good?
Yep.
You okay?
Also, where can we find the video that you put last time?
On Teams. On Microsoft Teams, and later it comes on YouTube. But YouTube takes time because I have to upload and schmiggly dingy. But when you are going on Microsoft Teams, when you go on Microsoft Teams, for every recording, there's going to be a kind of, what does it say? See, right now it's being so general. I don't think it's in files. So, oh, there you go. See details. There you go. You see? It says January 05 welcome, and it says ended. That's where it is. That's the first thing that I've done. You click on view recap, and that's the video for it.
Got it, thank you.
And this video gets wiped out in a month automatically. But YouTube videos are always going to be there. So go immediately on this, and then the higher quality stuff is going to go on YouTube a little later. Okay, probably, usually at the end of each week, I'll upload them, bunch of them up to YouTube, but for now, do this, okay? That's it. So again, that's that. Any other question? Yes.
You mentioned that the video, I don't know what video you were talking about, it's only for the lab computers, not our laptops. Is that the videos that we had on GitHub? How to set up, pull, push about metrics and stuff?
That's it. That's going to be, so that's, as you saw, it's in Workshop 0. It's a playlist that comes up. Oh, yes, a playlist. So there's going to be another playlist with your subject. Okay, let me show you from last semester. So this is what you're going to see. So when it's up and going, there you go. This is 2241. Woo! Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. This is the playlist for that. These are all on the, so this, you're going to have something like this, but over here it's going to say 2261 OOP244NBB. And these are, so essentially what you see over here are all the lectures that I had in 2024 January. Okay? And I'm hearing myself talking here. Anyways, you good? Okay, so, and I'm going to put the address of the playlist in here. So you see the OOP244 organization. Go to OOP244, applied yada yada OOP2, that's the one. So you go that one, and you go to the notes. And in the notes, you go to your own section that is NBB. Then down there it says YouTube playlist. It's nothing there. If you click, nothing's going to come up now because I haven't said it. But you click on this one, your YouTube thingy is going to come with all the good things that you have. So I'll put the base, and I promise that I'm going to put the Xcode setup, how to use Xcode to write programs. If you don't mind, somebody send me a message on MS Teams and remind me to do that. So I'll add that video at the top of your list, how to set up your Xcode if you are using a Mac, okay? But that goes the extent of my help, okay? When you're working on Mac, I'm not very good with Xcode, but I just know how to set it up. But my Mac doesn't give me this permission or things like that. Please, I don't know, okay? Also, what I want to please ask you to do so is to set up your MS Teams and your microphone and the stuff like, and screen sharing and all the things on your Mac computers, because it requires lots of permissions that on Windows it doesn't have, and on Linux it's not like that. You can simply do it and everything's good. So those permissions, try to make a call and with somebody and do a test, make sure the screen can be shared, because when you have 15 minutes appointment with me, troubleshooting your MS Teams, not a good time to do that, okay? So make it ready to make sure that when you're coming to a meeting, we're all good and dandy. Anyways, so questions about ChatGPT and stuff like that, or AI or whatever? Can we continue? It's not in workshop. It's not in workshop. You are in a workshop. You just said that I'm in a workshop and I cannot find this. This is not workshop. This is OOP244NBB notes. I said it, click on the organization at left. Click on the organization at left. Then you see all the repositories. Then you select the repositories and you go there. Okay, we good? Okay. So let me take this thing away. It's just bothering me over there. Any other question? Suggestion? Objection? Okay, so let's close that one. Now I'm going to start again by bringing up Visual Studio and create a new project. So again, for a few times I will do that in class. But after third or fourth session, then I'll make it ready and I just click and open it, because I want you to see how it's done a few times to remember it. But I'm not going to do that anymore after a few times. Visual Studio 2026 is up. Okay. You can install them both if you have. So go with 2022 because that's what we have in school. But install 2026 too. It's awesome. Like I was working with it the other day. It had some cool features. So the installation process is the same, but it just has more features in it. Pardon me? You have a Mac. I was talking about Visual Studio. Visual Studio doesn't work on Mac. That's Xcode. Yes, ma'am. Visual Studio Code, you can use anything you want, my dear. Anything, if you have. What I'm telling you to use is my suggestion. The reason is that although this code, in this class, we are saying that we are using Visual Studio in curriculum, that this is based on Visual Studio, but it's essentially C++. So anything you're happy with, CodeLight, I don't know, Eclipse, Visual Studio Code, whatever you are, set it up and use it. And if you are setting it up and you know how to make instructional video, set it up, record it, give it to me, and I'll add it to the recordings of the thing. Collaborate, okay? If you do anything that you think it's helpful for others, if you have a Mac geek and you can set up your Xcode like that, record a video and share it with me, okay? If it's your own channel or on YouTube, put it on that one, give me the link. If not, give me the video, I'll post it on mine. It doesn't make any difference, okay? Another thing that I wanted to tell you is that that's how we are going to work in this class. So when you are coming to the workshop, when we have a lab, you don't submit and go. You submit, and if you're done, and if you see anyone else have problems, you're going to be a lab tutor. You're going to stand up and go help them. If somebody has any problem with their code, help them, okay? The best way to learn is to teach, believe it or not, okay? So that's how we're going to do it. So create a new project. We're going to go with an empty project. Again, you can actually select what type of a thing you want. Empty project, C++ is what we want, not console. And that works the same way with 2026. Make sure you place the solution project in the same directory because we are writing small stuff. It's not several projects. Select your repository to create the thing in it. So we are in NBB. I'm going to go in NBB. Right here, I'm going to create select the folder, and it's going to be B-January 7th. I'm hearing something in the background talking. Another class? I don't know. I hear some video being played. I easily get distracted, by the way. All right, so now I create the project, and project's created. Go to Solution Explorer. And by the way, if you close the Solution Explorer, don't panic. You just go to View, and you say Solution Explorer, it comes back up, okay? You don't need anything else. Close all the tabs. Copilot comes up. This comes up. I don't know. A Server Explorer comes up. And all the things that you need to do when you are writing a professional application. We are just learning, so just Solution Explorer is fine for us. Then I right-click on source files, and I'm going to say Add New Item. And the new item I'm going to add over here, I usually call prg.cpp. Then we're going to have include, IO stream. It is a header file. that handles streams in C++. Streams are essentially streams of characters going back and forth, or streams of data going back and forth. This is for input and output, so that's why I'm using. I am in a namespace, standard namespace most of the time, so I'm using it not to keep repeating std scope resolution. If I don't do that, so if I don't put, I'm going to write it. Int main, I'm going to write main, return 0. Always complete the structure of the command, and then fill in the blanks. Always, okay? The next thing I'm going to do over here, I'm going to say cout January 7th, OOP244, 244NBB, and I'm going to go to new line, okay? I'm going to hold the control plus F5. That means debug, control F5, start without debugging. That means it's going to run the program and executes the program and show me what the output out is without debugging, or tell me if there are any errors. So if, as you see over here, it's actually showing the output. By the way, at the end of the class, those people who are sitting at the end of the universe, you can see this. Is it big enough for you, or do you want me to make it larger? Larger, or this is good? Larger? OK. So is it good? Better? All right. So now take a look. I'm going to comment this out and see what happens. As you see now, it doesn't know what object cout is and what object endl is. It doesn't know. To actually specify what I'm going to do, now I have to say, hey, go to std namespace and pick up cout. And go to std namespace and pick up endl. Now it understands what I'm saying. Because I'm going to work with std a lot, I'm going to use it at the beginning, so I don't have to keep typing std, std, std. One of the things that I always tell to AI is that please use namespace std and don't keep going in your code, because when AI is writing code for you, it just, OK? You'll see, like, I write one question, and I polish it and everything with AI. Then I'm going to say, create 12 variations for it. It creates 12 different versions of the same thing. It's a beautiful thing. And then I'll give that thing to you as quizzes. So, and for those things, I have to tell to AI what to do. So you'll see. You're going to use coding. You get used to it when you actually develop something. It's very useful. But again, you need to know how to do it. So this is if not using std, you must qualify each object with its namespace. OK? So again, I do Control F5 to run it, to make sure it runs. OK? And now just to remember what I've done, I'm going to go over here and write 01, not using std. So this is how I keep adding files. So that file is going to go there, and the next file is going to continue. So I'll teach like that. So I'll now come back over here, remove this, and remove that, and we'll go with our stuff. We good? Are we OK? All right. What is encapsulation? See? He knows how to play the game. So you say pass when you don't know it. You give it to the next person. What is encapsulation? Do you remember?
Encapsulation?
Yes. We mentioned at the end of the class, in 15 minutes, quickly I explained what object orientation is. I don't expect any of you to remember it. I'm just teaching you how am I teaching. Okay, telling you how I'm teaching. Encapsulation? You can say pass if you don't know, or you can try. Dun, 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 dun. Pass. We don't have that much time. Pass, thank you.
Pass.
So we heard how many passes?
3.
3 passes. Now the hand comes up. It changes to that one, and You're going to answer what encapsulation is.
Can I don't record it?
Huh? Okay, there we go.
I think I cannot give exactly definition, but I can give a sample like a bank account. We have name and account. When we encapsulation mean we can set the name and the account. Like we can deposit the money to that account or withdraw the money from that account, but we cannot do anything to that account.
Okay, so what, again, I like this type of answer. So I can actually fiddle with it, and you can pass the microphone to the next person. And don't be afraid to be recorded. Your name is not there, your picture is not there. You can say whatever you want. Nobody knows who you are. Please grab that microphone and put it in front of you. So what he says is that we literally get information. No. You have to say the pass. I'm gonna shame you on not answering. So encapsulation, essentially, what it means is that we build something that we want in our program, and we put the specifications of what we want in there. Okay? So the specification of the things that we want. In this case, we have an account. If you want to have an account, you want your account to have a balance. So essentially, you create an attribute in there to show what is the balance of that account. And then we want to take money out of the account, unlike C programming, where we had a function separately sitting calling withdraw or something, or deposit, and then we pass the account to it. We bring that function inside the account, and we call that encapsulation, putting the data and behavior together. So remember, putting the data and behavior together is encapsulation. We are going to learn how to do that. What happened to my microphone? Oh, sorry. He's hiding it behind it. Okay, encapsulation. Do you remember what was the next one? You just say the name of it. We had three. You said 3 pillars of object orientation. It was encapsulation, and then?
Inheritance.
Why did you answer? You said pass. Okay, inheritance, fantastic. Give it to the next person. And the next one is? Polymorphism, fantastic. And the gentleman over there is going to help us with inheritance. Do you remember what inheritance was?
I'm like getting it from another class.
Fantastic. Getting the design out of another class. When we have designed a class that is basis of what we want to improve, what we do, we simply inherit it, as I mentioned with bicycle and a motorcycle. I said if I have a bicycle and I want to make a motorcycle, I'm not going to restart designing everything from the beginning. A motorcycle is essentially a bicycle with an engine on it. And that's what we call an is-a relationship. Is-a relationship. At any moment in English language, you say is-a, inheritance is involved. My laptop is a computer, which means computer is the base class. You inherit a laptop out of it, which means it has all the specifications of the computer. It adds portability, and it adds other features that a desktop doesn't have. You say my cell phone is a computer, which means cell phone is a computer, which means it has all the things a computer has, but it adds features to it or may remove features from it. We don't know. It refines it or makes it different. Is a relationship at all times is inheritance. Has a relationship is encapsulation. Fardad has a head. That means it's encapsulation. I have something. Okay? My car has a steering wheel. That's encapsulation. Okay? Has a is always encapsulation. It's something containing something else. The water bottle that he's drinking has water, which means it is attribute. It has something in it. Okay? So that was inheritance. Polymorphism. Hello. Do you remember what polymorphism was? Pass that. Polymorphism.
I don't remember.
Okay. Next one. Do you know what? First of all, do you know what is polymorphism? Do you remember? Yeah. No. The one that has a mic. If you have a talking stick, I'm talking to you.
I think I have an idea.
You go ahead, please.
like doing the same action but in different ways?
You don't have an idea. That's the exact definition. That's the exact definition. Doing the doing the same action in a different way. Okay? So if I told you dance, I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to do salsa, you're going to do tango. What you're going to do? We don't know. There are many different ways of doing the same thing. Let's tango. Let's salsa. When you say let's tango, you are dancing, but in a different way. If I ask you to speak, you will speak, but in your own language. Therefore, it is polymorph. Right? We good? We're okay? Fantastic. So these are the three things that we were talking about. I just reviewed what we've talked about last time. Oh. I wish they had more. I have to every 40 minutes I have to remember to keep the podium going. So now what I'm about to do is to bring up my cheat sheet, which is essentially, where is it? Seneca, OOP244 notes. Welcome to object-oriented. I just mentioned to you what it is. So I'm just going to, this is what I do. I'll go through it. I look at what we have over here. And if I see there is something over here that I did not mention, I'll mention it to you. But that doesn't mean that's the only thing I'm going to talk about. Many things over here I'm not going to talk about. You have to go study to yourself. And other things I'm going to say that it's not going to be in here. When it's not in here, I'll let you know, hey, this is not in our notes. Write it down, go Google it, and find out how it is. Remember, you're college students. I'm not supposed to spoon feed you, okay? I'm supposed to teach you how to do things. Then you have to fill in the blanks, come back with questions, okay? This is how you are studying, okay? So, please read about features of C++ and stuff like that. I just want to babble over here for you how beautiful language it is. Go through it and see what it is. It's a powerful language because it comes from C, and it's even more powerful because it's object-oriented. But the difference between C++ and other object-oriented languages is that it is much more powerful. What is the meaning of power?
It's just faster.
Faster. But in reality, power means to be able to bend the rules. Right? If you always follow the rules, you're following the rules. But when you can bend the rules and not do stuff the way they're supposed to, then you have power. You have authority. Okay? That's what C++ is. C++ is object-oriented, but it could be structured too, which means you don't have to be object-oriented in it. You must want to be object-oriented in it. And that's why it is faster. All the rules and regulations that other programming languages have, like Java and things like that, they're fully object-oriented. You cannot write something over there that is not following those three rules. You can't. C++, by having the main function, the start of it is not object-oriented because you have main. Who's the owner of main? No one. So you start it and it's not object-oriented. If you go to Java, you have to have the main to be method. What was a method? Madam with a what is a method? Remember?
No.
What was a method, my dear?
Pass.
Method?
Pass.
Anyone? Method? What is method? Give the microphone to my hero over there. Method is?
A function.
A function that is?
Pass.
That is?
Pass.
That is?
Pass.
That is? Anybody? That is in a class. That is a member function. Okay? So a method and a function are identical. These are methods. But they're both functions. But when you're saying method, essentially it means it's member. It's inside a structure. It's inside a class. It's not standing by itself. Okay? All right. That's why C is powerful. And it has lots of restrictions. They have added lots of restrictions to C. So it's not as free as C. And we make it more stricted as we go forward. So you go to OOP345, you learn how to use those restrictions. What are those restrictions? Type safety, which means in C language, you can print anything as anything. In C++, if you try to print a pointer as an integer, it's going to tell you what the heck you're doing. Doesn't make sense. I have to stop. Okay, this is a pointer, or you're not supposed to. You follow what I'm saying? It has type safety. When the time comes up, you'll see, and they add the restrictions so the compiler can warn you. So what you do, it's not that you can't do what you couldn't do, you could do with C. It's that you have to state your intentions. So in C++, if you want to print a pointer as an integer, you have to tell to C++, hey, print this pointer as an integer. It will print it for you. But if you don't mention that, it wants to make sure that you're not making a mistake. That's how mistakes and bugs happen. So again, anything that you did in C, you can do in C++. The difference is that in C++, you have to state your intentions before doing it, and then it will allow you to do it. We'll come to that at the end of the semester. It's your favorite thing, right? Segmentation fault. You're going to have lots of that when we get to dynamic memory allocation. You'll see. But anyways. Namespaces. I just specifically mentioned to you what namespaces are, and I'm going to quickly mention to you what the syntax for it. What is a syntax for it? Before doing that, we have to understand modules. Okay? I know module is the next one that we are going to talk about, but I have to mention it. Namespaces are coming too early over here. I have to mention what a module is. Then I'm going to see what a namespace is. We talked about namespaces. As namespaces, I said it's a place where you put all the names that you are creating in a family that they all relate to each other. As I mentioned with abstraction, that my friend's going to mention over there. What is abstraction?
Pass.
Abstraction? You have to study when you come to my class, please. Abstraction? Abstraction?
Pass.
Abstraction? Anybody knows what abstraction is?
Can you search up?
Huh?
Can you search up right now?
Slower.
Are you allowed to look at the blackboard right now to search for the answer?
No. I want you to use your brain. Okay. So we don't. So abstraction, I said, to take what you want and ignore everything else. Remember triangle? I said there's a triangle with two dots. Somebody said that's a lady dancing. Remember that? And I said that's the view of the artist, and it's called an abstract art. Abstraction is like that. Each, depending on your business logic, you may design the same thing in different way. That's not polymorphism. Polymorphism is doing the same thing in different way. But to look at the same entity, to design it in different aspects of business logic, that's abstraction. Again, a student from OSAP department's point of view is as a financial entity, whereas from academic point of view, it's a learning entity. Two different things. One has marks and details of stuff and tests and things like that. The other one has a bank account and the amount of money that it owes and so on and so forth. So you follow what I'm saying, right? So to demonstrate that, we have to understand modules. When we are talking about modules, we are essentially saying that a program gets so big that you cannot implement everything in one thing. You have done this on IPC 144, right? You had a separate file with a header file. You did that, right? Okay, so each module essentially is all the relative code, the code that are relative to each other, kept in a file. And it has a header file that has prototypes of all the things that you have in that file. And this lets the compiler compile things in individual segments and therefore make an organized type of programming possible. Did I just type or not? How a compiler works, that's what I wanted. Copy. Copy? Oh, sorry. I'm a dinosaur. I still have Windows 10 at home. When I come over here with Windows 11, I don't know how to copy. Anyway, so let's go back over here to here. I'm going to paste it over here. So how compiler works? How does the compiler work? So when you are writing a program, nowadays, it's impossible for you to have just one file. You have several files that you write your programs with. So this I'm going to call 1.cpp. So you have 1.cpp, and that 1.cpp has 1.h as a header file. Then you have 2.cpp, and 2.cpp has 2.h as its header file. And you have 3.cpp, and 3.cpp has 3.h, and you have a main that includes 1.cpp, 2.cpp, and 3.cpp in it. As simple as that. I'm not going through what you see over here. Well, forget about this one being it, right? Forget about that. We're just talking about how compiler works at the moment. So when you actually compile your code, in your code, what you are writing in this will be something like, in that case that you have over there. Let me just actually, maybe I can write it in here somewhere. What happens if I do this? Nice. So now, how you compile this would be something like this. You are going to say G++, that is GNU compiler ++ C++ essentially, 1.cpp, 2.cpp, 3.cpp, and main.cpp. And you hit enter. So this is how you compile this. It looks like one program is being executed, right? But that's not what's happening here. There are actually 5 executions in here. Execution number 1. G++ only compiles 1.cpp as if nothing else exists. Got it? Then 2.cpp will get compiled as if nothing else exists. And then 3.cpp the same, and then main.cpp. So what if 3.cpp, as you see, it is including 2.cpp because it's using some of its functions? So if that's the case, how can 3.cpp gets compiled without anything being present? It is the magic of include that you write at the beginning. So the include that you are writing, it's literally a copy and paste. When you say include, the compiler goes, grabs that file, copies the content, literally pastes it in yours before compilation. By the way, all those hashtags that you are writing, they are not C language. They are C compiler language. You are telling to the compiler what to do before compilation begins. So when you say include, it means before compilation, include this. Did you do define in C language? In C? Hashtag define. So when you say define, define is literally as if in a text editor you're saying search and replace. Define means before you compile, search for this and replace it with that before compilation. Include does the same thing. So when the 3.cpp is being compiled, because it's including 2.cpp, it will have all the header files of the CPP, but not the functions. You know what it looks like? It's as if what our friend did over here. SLG, right? So it says SLG classes are available. You can go and register. Everybody's happy over here. You just compiled with no error. But if you go down there and there is no SLG, that's when you're going to give an error. That's linker telling you, hey, you promised there's an SLG. I went to Learning Commons. There's nothing there. So compilation is the act of promising and converting it to the machine code. Convert all the promises. That's why each module, and each one of these is called a module, can get compiled separately. And therefore, when the promises are correct with correct syntax, it converts it to an object file, as you see that the oval thing that I'm writing over here. So the oval thing that you see over here is the machine representation, the binary code of what you have written in C++. After all these things are compiled successfully, the fifth program is called. So 4 times the compiler is running. Now the fifth program comes that is called the linker. Linker puts all these object files together and makes sure that the promises you made are kept in the other object files. So in here, if you wanted to call something from a function from 2.cpp, the function actually exists. And that's when linker says OK. When linker says OK, then the entire thing are linked together in one binary file with some headers and footers added to it so CPU understands it and puts it over here. This is feedable to operating system. Operating system can grab your executable and run it now. And that's the entire thing for programming. Why did I mention this before namespaces? This is the reason. The reason is that, say, we are writing code now. And the codes that you're going to write, we want to make sure that these codes are not conflicted with anything else. To do this practice, I'm going to tell you all the code you are about to write in this class must be in a namespace called Seneca. So essentially, if you don't write it, your code still compiles. But the problem is that if someone else comes and creates an object with the same name of yours, it won't compile with your code anymore because it's going to be a naming conflict. You're going to have 2 names with the same thing. But when you create Seneca, so 1.cpp is in namespace Seneca, 2.cpp is in namespace Seneca, 3.cpp is in namespace with Seneca, main.cpp uses namespace Seneca. It is not in a namespace Seneca. This is the one that is using the namespaces you create. And it uses the std, that is the library and all the good stuff. We good? Now, what is the syntax for it? So this is how the compiler works. What's the syntax for it? Yeah, sure, save it. OK. So let's say here is files for the administration in Seneca for a company. So you are writing in a company, and the company has an administration part. Okay? So they say namespace admin. It means all the code relative, all the code functions, variables, classes, structures, anything will be enclosed in a namespace called admin. And this is, let's say, in file abc.cpp. OK? And header file and whatever. And abc.h. If you write 2 structures with the same name, what happens? Conflict, right? It won't compile. When you write 2 namespaces with the same name, so let's say this is abc. And now in here I have file abc.cpp for ADM. When you write something like this, what happens? Is it a conflict? No. 2 namespaces with the same name merge and make a bigger bubble. So unlike structures that if they have the same name, there's a conflict, when you have two namespaces with the same name, they merge and make a bigger namespace. That's why all your modules should be in namespace Seneca. Okay? And obviously, in the main, so I'm going to write it over here, I'm going to put it up. And say over here, this is file def.cpp for education part, whatever, namespace, edu. Now in here I can have struct student. In here I can have struct student. Did I type student? No. And many other things. I'm just giving you an example. In here, now I can say using namespace ADM, because I'm mostly working with ADM. And in here now I can say student, ADM student. So I create a student of that type. But if I want to create a student for the education, I have to write edu student. Edu student. And now I create two different ones. So like this, there is no conflict. Because I said using namespace ADM, when you just write student, it says, let me see if it's an STD. No. Is it an ADM? Yes, I'll pick it up. You want to create the edu, now you have to qualify it. If you use both of them, then you have to qualify both of them. Otherwise, there's going to be a conflict. So if I say using namespace edu, then all the things that are uncommon you can use, but anything that is common has to get qualified. Easy breezy. So still, there is no conflict if you have the same object in both of them and you use them both. It doesn't matter. This is the syntax, but all you need to do is that when you create a module, add new item, student.cpp, .h, and then I'm going to have new item, student.cpp. So what you do over here, this is now, what you see right now, you need to be able to do it with your eyes closed. Like this is like no thinking. It should be muscle memory. When you create a module, the module has a header file and a CPP file. That's standard, right? Immediately, you are writing, if not defined, our namespace is called Seneca, right? Whatever the namespace is, you're going to write that, Seneca. Underline, you use the student, the module name to complete it. You write student, underline H, and you copy it. Do not retype it, because you may have a typo, and that's going to cause trouble. For the second one, you write define. This is called a compilation safeguard. I'll explain what it does. Then you're going to write namespace, Seneca. Then you go in your student.cpp, you write include student, and you write namespace Seneca. Now you start thinking. Down to this point, no brain cells are used. It's standard. You do it for all your modules. Your header file will have a safeguard. The reason that I'm telling you without telling you what the reason of each thing is that seriously, this is standard from now till forever. Anytime you are creating a header file, you put compilation safeguards, you write the namespace you're writing in, and you put this one. What does it do? First of all, what does the hashtag do? Microphone. Who has the microphone? Oh, you already said something, so it's going to go to the other side of the planet. What was hashtag? Remember? Hashtag says what? Pass. Hashtag says, we said hashtag stands for?
The program can understand.
Compiler can understand.
Yeah.
Compiler can understand what to do before starting compilation, right? So you are telling to the compiler, hey, if Seneca student.h is not defined, continue compiling. So what happens is that it continues the compilation. But the very first thing that it does is what? Actually defines it. Defines it to nothing. We don't care what it's defined to. The fact that it is defined is important here. So it runs and compiles and goes through it. Now if you include this header file again and again and again, what happens? The second time compiler wants to compile it, says, if not defined, but it's already defined because it was compiled, right? So it completely ignores the header file. That's why header files are safe to be included several times. They only get compiled once. That's why we call that compilation safeguard. That's going to be in your first quiz. Remember that. And in all your workshops, any header file you create, anything you write is that, unless we mention otherwise. Unless I tell you, create a program for a car company, for BMW company, and all your code is supposed to be written in a namespace called BMW. Now create a module for a car. What would you do? car.cpp, car.h. If not defined, BMW underline car underline h, define it, then namespace BMW, you go like that. So everything goes exactly how you're supposed to do based on new namespace and yada yada that you're doing. Okay? Yes?
So what will be in the test and quiz again?
Pardon me?
So what will be in the test and quiz again?
What I'm teaching now.
What part?
What I'm teaching now. This part. Exactly this. So I'm going to, in a quiz, I'm going to tell you, create an empty module. Create an empty module for a class called table in a namespace called HTML. So what would you do? Immediately, you create two files, table.h, table.cpp. Then you write, if not defined, HTML underline table underline h. Define HTML underline table underline h, namespace HTML. You write that. Then you go to the CPP file. You write include table.h, namespace HTML, and your empty module is done. You get the mark for it. I just want you to remember this is how modules are made. Very good? That requires celebration with a drink. Okay. The class ends at 9:45, right? 9:50. 9:45. 9:45. So we have half an hour. Start the quiz. I'm going to block the computers. Hopefully you have all done the agreement, right? If you haven't done the agreement, you can't do the quiz. Okay? All right. So do it now. Guys, I'm sorry. You're college students. You have to be present and you have to be on time. That's all we need. Please, I know this is the first time, and I'm going to remove the restrictions so you can actually do it, okay? So you can do it without the agreement today, but remember that next time there is no, excuse me, yes? Oh yeah, I haven't started anything yet. Give me a second. Don't worry if you cannot finish it. That's not important. I'm going to give you 25 minutes to do it. Give me a second. Let me bring. Actually, don't start the quiz, please. Close the quiz, everyone. Close the quiz. OOP244NBB. Close the quiz, please. Everybody close the quiz. Do not open it because I have to change the requirement for it. If you have it open, it won't allow me. Everybody close the quiz. Close the quiz, please. Okay, the restriction is removed. Now you can start. So the very first thing you need to do, bring up so start the quiz. You should be able to do it. Oh, the code. And how the code works. So when I give you the code, again, we didn't need a code for this. I'm just demonstrating it to you. I'll give you the code. So I'm going to tell you what the code is. You write the code, and immediately it's changed. So if you miss it, you have to ask for another code. Remember that. OK? So I'm waiting for. So now I'm going to start it. So the code is 890-309. 890-309. And the code starts. 890-309. Start timer, and you're good to go. All right. So you are writing one file, question 1, question 2, question 3, and the questions are not, oh, thank you. The questions are not, yes?
It says the website is blocked.
You cannot type a URL. I mentioned to you.
Oh.
You cannot type a URL.
I wasn't logged in, so I
What,
couldn't.
okay, so what you do this one to go to Seneca. That's number 1. And you do this to go to my apps. So you cannot type anything.
Right.
Not now. Log in, and any prompt that comes up, check mark and say yes.
Okay.
Okay?
Where do we write?
You write, so the very first thing you do, you go to Notepad, okay? Notepad, save your Notepad++ to .cpp. So that's not, did you save it as .cpp?
Not yet, but
No, first,
there are no like input box.
they're all in one file. Go to your Notepad. The very first thing you do, and by the way, if you see your mouse is moving, let go. It means you're doing something horrible. I'm fixing it from there, okay? If you see suddenly your mouse is moving and I'm doing something to you. The very first thing you do, you save the file to something.cpp, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You cannot search for anything, sir. What do you want to do?
I'm trying to get in the quiz, basically.
You open this.
I'm not able to. Understand what is going on.
What the heck?
Yeah, right?
Okay, we're here, so this is good. So my Seneca, this is one. And then you open this one. Oh, you're good to go. And this is your My App. Now, log into this one. Log in. Okay. I'm going to actually do it over here too so you can see. Answer the questions in a notepad. I'll tell you how to submit. For now, answer the questions in the notepad. Yes. 890309, if I recall correctly. 309. You need to open Notepad++, My Apps. Yeah.
Where do I go from here? Because I still can.
Type Notepad, and you launch Notepad++.
Okay.
Next time, watch the video before you come in. You didn't watch the video. Bad boy you are.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah, so that's that one. And what is this thing? You go learn Blackboard. Okay. Log in. There you go.
So no function, no main, just like a code block.
A code snippet. A code snippet, by definition, it's a code in the middle of nowhere. So when I'm asking you to write a code snippet, you write question 1, column, and then you write the code snippet. Okay? So when I say write a code snippet, that's what you do, yes. Not there. You are never writing in here. You write over here, you get 0. Where is Notepad?
I was trying to search on Notepad here.
No, you're not searching. Watch the video.
Do it in my app.
Not now. Enter. 890 890 309 09. Start the attempt. Okay? Notepad++, open it, and start writing the code. Write it as .cpp. And I strongly suggest, I'll do it over there. Anyways, do keep answering. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to start it over here so you can see how I do it. Okay. That's Notepad. What was the code? 890 309. Thank you. Okay, so you bring one at right and put the other one as left. With control and mouse wheel, bring it up, and it goes like this. So it actually, you can actually see everything. Yes.
So I'm assuming like you just put all the answers here.
Yes,
so,
yes, yes, yes.
So like it's like kind of confusing. It's like
So this is what you do. That's what I'm saying.
just post follow.
You put over here at right, this one at left. Now start doing question 1. You finished it. Go to question 2, right?
Yeah.
So write question 1 over here. So I know it's you're answering question 1. And then go to question 2, answer, answer, and you keep doing it. And when it's completed, you simply copy everything and paste it over here. Okay? Five minutes before the end, I'll tell you how to submit it. Do not submit. I'll tell you how to do it. So keep writing the answers, whatever you can. You don't have to be precise. Run file. So essentially, at left, you write over here question 1. And then you write the code for it. So over here, whatever you are doing. For